Well, hello there. We'll come back a little bit earlier. Hello there, everybody. Welcome to the Heat Army podcast. Thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you had a fantastic Christmas. Sadly, on the pitch, it didn't seem to work out that way for us. 1 point from a possible 6, a draw up at Blythe Spartans, and a disastrous defeat at home to Spennymoor, who were absolutely fantastic on the day. So we'd love to hear from you. We're going to try and keep it positive. I know we went to Tier 4 today, and it's awful. So yeah, it's an absolute good. But Mickey, how are you? How was your Christmas?
Not too bad. Can't complain.
Yeah.
Busy, but like everything else, everyone else is in the same boat as myself. So
Yeah,
it really is.
Just got to get on with it, sadly. But I say we've got a fully stacked show. We've got Arvid joining us live from Norway in about 10 minutes. We've got Mark Crovers, who's going to talk to us about the 2 games that over Christmas. And of course, previewing Blythe Spartans on the 2nd of January, just after New Year. And we're going to be talking to Josh Ewell, who's been doing a lot of things with Tyneside TV. We've spoken to him before, but we're going to have him on the new format, so it's going to be lots to talk about, and we want you to be fully involved and get involved with it. And we've got a message already. This one's from Thomas Boyle. He says, hi. So hello there, Thomas. Thank you for joining us, and do as Thomas has done and send in lots of messages into the show. We haven't got the highlights of the last 2 games because I think people would be suicidal. We'll put them on, but yeah, not exactly a great festive campaign so far, but say we take on Blythe again, who themselves got a thumping at the hands of Darlington. But we've got some more messages here. Hopefully a reaction on Saturday and a new striker brought in. Well, fingers crossed. Of course, 2 players have left the club in the last few days. Oliver Battersby has been recalled by Grimsby, and of course Jed Garner has went back to Fleetwood. So Gateshead now, we'll say, with hopefully James Montgomery coming back into the starting lineup, but we would hope that there's another striker on the cards. But as I say, and
because Jordan Cook will be suspended as well, so
certainly as well. We've got a message from David Tron. He's put, evening, lad. And, well, Mick Scully's put, happy 60th birthday, Mickey. Of course, it's your birthday today, Mickey. And you think I'd 49. Let that go by? 49. You think I'd let that go by without anything happening? Now, don't get your hopes up, Mickey, but I couldn't find a non-licensed birthday song, so I've had to put a bit of rock music to this little homage to Mickey Barris. Happy birthday, Nicole.
What a truly stitched there, Sunshine.
And happy birthday to Ian Watson as well, Gateshead's manager. So I think he turned 35, the lucky so-and-so. So yeah.
Very old enough his dad.
Yeah, well, I'll say I'm 40 next year. Oh, devastated. Got this little patch of grey hair there. I'll find it. There it is there. But aye. So if you want to send us any messages, see, we are going to have Arvid joining us live on the phone, as well as Mark Carruthers. And well, we will be talking about all of those things. And of course, the red card is on Saturday, well, the other day for Jordan Cook as well, in his tweet afterwards, which I think was a professional thing to do. He stood up, held his hands up, and we'll put that tweet up later on and talk about it. But yeah, lots to talk about, and we want everyone to get involved. And as you can see at the bottom of the screen, the show is sponsored by Northern Print Solutions, and we always thank them for their support. And as ever, message us. We want to know what your thoughts are, and the messages are coming in thick and fast at the moment. We've got one here from Dave Edwards. Due to Looney's going back, I'm looking forward to seeing Mail Langstaff getting a few more games over the next few weeks. Well, you would think they're going to be in line for a chance.
Definitely. I mean, I thought Harrison was quite unlucky. Lose this bit. And I think Longstaff's overdue starting, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, he come on, and it would have been nice to see him come on a bit earlier on Saturday. I think we peaked as the game was ending when we got that goal back through Ollie. as I say, it wasn't the greatest of games. And so we'll talk about that more in depth when we get Mark Rovers on the phone. But the Blythe game, I was on dad duty with the kids, so I couldn't watch it. But I believe you watched it, Mickey.
I did. I think we dominated a large majority of the game. We could have went 3-1 up, Garner's hit the post. Had a couple of their chances. It's just the silly mistakes we keep making, Dave. We're getting punished every time for them. I mean, the lad who's Corey McEwen, not a lot there. Maybe he should have been closed down much earlier. But was still a hell of a strike in the top corner. I don't think
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the goals, and it was a beautiful strike. I mean, he cut back on it and lashed it inch perfect into the top corner there, and they're unstoppable. Them, you know what I mean? But we went in front twice in that game. We can't seem to see a game out at the moment.
Well, can it? And I keep saying it. It's silly mistakes. You make it once, it's a mistake. A second time, it's a bit silly. When you make it 3, 4, 5 times, that's when it starts to become a joke. Really, well, not a joke. It's becoming incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
I know the lads from going out on purpose, they make mistakes, but we keep making these silly mistakes. And like I say, for a large majority of the game against Blythe, they look comfortable.
Yeah.
Just the ball across the box, and it's ricocheted back to Agnew, and there's no one even standing next to Agnew from the lashing equaliser. Corey McEwen does a decent goal, but I don't know.
Rivalries.
Go on.
Rivalries aside, going to the side that's bottom of the league and are kind of like the whipping boys at the moment, you expect to go and get something. You know what I mean? But one of them games, Blythe always seem to be a bit of a bogey team. We've got a message from Anne Adams, and she's put, will Gator be playing as we're in Tier 4? Yes, they are, because they are classed as elite sport. So because we are classed the same as the Football League and the Premier League, we will be continuing being able to play, thankfully. And we've got another message. This one is from Sam Pendleton. And he's put, evening lads, hope you had a good Christmas. Disappointed about the 2 games. However, keep the faith. The team can hopefully beat Blythe at home. And I think it's one of them games where we need to give a performance here, Mickey, on Saturday.
Especially after Saturday. On Monday, sorry. Because even before Jordan Cook got sent off, Spenny were the better team for me. Just played better than us. We didn't seem to get started, and it was one of them where the harder we tried, the worse it seemed to get. Then we had a spell where we kept the ball well, but didn't look like breaking them down. So it was just one of them things, mate. It's bad day out the office, I think.
Yeah, it's funny when Gates had tweeted red card to Jordan Cook, everyone was going mad, saying he's not good enough, send him back. But when we tweeted everyone saying keep your heads up and being nice, I say
like Cook.
Yeah, I do. I like Cook. I mean, we'll talk about his tweet later on. I've got it ready to pull up on the screen. We've got a message from Mick Scurry. We desperately need more firepower up front. I'd love to see Nelson Ogbuwi on the bench in future games. Well, that was what I was going to bring up, to be honest. He's not the answer. He's a rough diamond, but I would rather have a big lad with pace on the bench to come on for the last 10 minutes and try and run at a defence. And, hopefully, he hits the ground running, develop the player. Yes, I'd love to have him on the bench myself. I think it'd be a great thing. He's looked lively against Farsley, so he could worth bringing on to get some game time. Well, yeah, I completely agree.
Agree more. I've only seen bits of him, but he looks quick, strong. Obviously, he's inexperienced, but he's going to get the experience until he plays, really. So,
yeah, well,
I can't see we're doing anything bad by playing him.
No. Well, I'd say I'd like, and also as well, if everyone's seen on social media, obviously Gateshead College and the academy were bigging up that another player had come through to represent Gateshead in the first team, and they were very proud of that. And so hopefully there's bigger things on the horizon for Nelson. But is it his time now? I don't know. Would I have him on the bench myself? Yes, I would. But let's see. But
it's not going to harm, is it really?
It isn't going to harm, but we do have our first guest waiting in the green room. We're going to bring him on. But Mickey, we know this, but do you think many people knew that he's a bit of a pop star?
Rockstar.
A rock star. I know. You might have words with us when I said pop star, but we're gonna. This is see if you can spot Arvid in this. Well, there he is. Hello, Arvid.
Oh, hello, my friends.
Rock royalty, Arvid.
Yeah, yes, I am.
How are you doing, Arvid?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Yes, fantastic. All the better for speaking to you.
Yeah, is my sound okay?
Yep, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect.
right.
Fantastic. Happy birthday, Mickey.
Thank you very much, Arvid. How was your Christmas?
It's nice. In the circumstances, it's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
What day are you on?
Yeah. Pubs are closed, so yeah, staying at home.
That's
Oh,
devastating.
you look depressed.
No, I'm not.
Arvid, I presume you've watched a lot of the streams this season. How's it been being able to, because it's been a bit of a positive for you. You've been able to see more games than what you probably have ever in a season.
Actually, I have to admit, the last match I saw was against Chorley in October.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so you missed the upturn in form.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but was it the FA Cup? Chorley.
Yeah.
October, lost 2-1.
Yeah.
That was a bit not so good.
Yeah, it's been one of those games. We've had a few of them this season, but I'd say obviously you've been able to see games and highlights and stuff. What's been your thoughts so far on the season? I know we're close to the playoffs, but I think a lot of people think maybe we should maybe be in there.
Yeah, but I think it's the games I've seen the lack of passing and a bit toothless on top. I think that's my view.
And of course, we lost Jed Garner at the weekend. Yeah. Well, he got recalled by Fleetwood. So the options there to try and bring somebody else in. And is it, in your opinion, do you think that's what we need to do? We need to bring somebody else in.
Why? I think you need to have Lee Nowak, that kind of type. That would have been fantastic.
I think we need a big Norwegian fireman up front.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Well, I'm probably best in the bar.
Yeah. Hi, lads. I've never been so cold at the festive games, and I cannot understand why we can't keep Cham. So I don't know, Calm. It must be that. The predict. Yeah. We have a few moments, don't we, at the back where we just seem to switch off, especially late on in games. It's just been very frustrating, of course. But let's say you were going to be coming over, weren't you, just before lockdown happened? I think we spoke to you earlier on in the year, but the first lockdown early in February, March, were you due to be coming over for a game?
Yeah, but I was going over in 2019, December.
Mm-hmm.
But I got the flu. Same as Tony Carter.
Yeah. Oh, no one wants to get the same as Tony Carter.
No. So actually, I haven't been there since my last match was January 2019, home against Solihull.
Oh God, that's a fair time for you. Normally, you cram one in before then.
So hopefully I'm going to return as soon as possible when it's
fingers crossed.
Yes, when I get the vaccine. Flying over.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. I think everyone will be flying to the pub as soon as they can get one. Apparently, Mickey, Scott Kennedy is not having that shirt. He's not enjoying that. He's got a Motherwell shirt on. If anyone doesn't realise,
I've got a Motherwell shirt on. I've got a Heart shirt on. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I'm getting it the wrong way around. Mick Scully's, but I really like Ollie and Greenfield, but we could do more physical presence in midfield to complement them as we get overrun at times. Yeah, we say the midfield battle on Monday was definitely won by Spennymoor. Can't argue with that, really, can we?
No, we can't. I'd like to ask Arvid about his music career. Actually, why you stopped?
Well, it's on hold. We actually started playing again in February this year, and went into lockdown in March. So yeah.
Your playing isn't that bad, is it?
Sorry?
Your playing isn't that bad.
No, it's not. But we were starting to play again and was having a concert in early June this year.
Oh.
But it's not allowed, so we have to wait.
Yeah, it's just everything. Is everything like more or less the same as what it is in England at the moment? Is everything just on hold and just the basic communities open?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh.
So I just work a lot. So there's nothing else to do. I ride my bike and work a lot.
You can see you look a lot more than what you did in that music video.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that. My face is just getting bigger each week.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
I'm glad you said that. So, Arvid, will you be in front of the line in the fire service? Will you get the vaccine any quicker, do you think, or not?
No, it's not. The fire department does not get it first. It's the health workers. So hopefully my wife gets it soon. Yeah. So yeah.
Has it been okayed in? Has it been approved in Norway yet? The vaccine?
Yeah.
It has. Good news.
So it started a couple of days ago. So hopefully go ahead in full speed early January. So they can open pubs in Oslo. That's important.
Yeah, definitely.
Serve it with a beer.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you can't go out and have a pint. It's
yeah. It's just depressing now, isn't it? I think
it is.
We need to have some end in sight, don't we?
But Arvid, for people who don't know you, how much is a pint in Oslo?
Probably 10, 11 pounds.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
You can tell I've got a new toy for Christmas. I've even got this one, a Sid James one. It's like, hang on, listen to this.
Spoken like a true man.
So people can expect a lot of them things throughout the.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we can even go slapstick and go. Yeah, so it's pretty sad.
That
I know.
should have been for Arvid when he come on, being a drummer.
Yeah.
It should have been
next
time. I'll get it right.
Yeah, next time.
Arvid, for anyone, obviously you've been on the podcast many times before, but people might be new to tuning in and thinking, well, what's this man from Norway doing talking about Gateshead? How did you? Just a quick little story. How did you end up following Gateshead?
Me and a couple of my friends were traveling around and ended up in Gateshead in 2006. And we watched Gateshead against Ilkeston Town, April 2006, the last match of the season, lost 2-1, a dodgy penalty decision. And
It always is.
And we met Hughes, we met the fantastic Heat Army, and ever since been back. So I actually counted my matches. I've seen 31 matches, 25 at home and 6 away.
I didn't realize you had made it to that many, but I suppose over the years you've made it about 3 or 4 games, if not more, each season.
Yeah. Well, time flies.
The thing is, have you worked out how many pints you've drank on Low Fell, though?
No.
That'll be more like 31 every time he comes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's a mystery. It's a mystery.
Certainly is. We've got a message from Sam Pennant. Apparently, Ollie Battersby was recalled to Grimsby because their number one, McEwen, is self-isolating, he thinks. So, obviously, Grimsby have got their own problems going on. Of course, it's happening right across the Football League and non-league and right at the top level. Games are going down left, right and centre. And I fear that maybe in the coming weeks, if it doesn't improve, I think there might be a halt to football, I think, at some stage, if it continues the way it is.
I hope not.
What was it on the news? It was on the news here in Norway now today. West Bromwich, was it? Or Sam Allardyce?
Tottenham, Fulham, 19 cases between the two.
Yeah,
right.
that was only just called off today, so a few hours before. So it's frightening, really. So just hopefully it'll calm down soon. But before we let you go, Arvid, obviously the big game on Saturday. What's your feelings and what's your predictions?
I predict 3-1, but my feelings are not so good. Hopefully we'll win. We'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
So
thanks for giving us a lift, Arvid.
Yeah. we must beat Blythe at home. That's
I think we're going to talk about a little bit about that later, and I think it really is a must-win game. I think it's a game that we need to for morale of the fans, regardless that it's Blythe, to play the team bottom of the league at home. And we're challenging for the playoffs and have been in the playoffs when we've played well beat the team that's top of the league, second and third. We need to be able to turn around and get something from that game, regardless of that. Yeah. And
it's Blythe.
Yeah. Yeah. We hammer them, Yeah.
But what's a bit before I hang up? What's the status on Montgomery?
I believe.
He's not far away.
Hopefully he's not far away. I don't know that for 100%, but when he was on the commentary with me the other week, he said that he'd hope to be ready come the new year. Fingers crossed he's very close. But if not, Harrison Mail, he's not a bad understudy at the moment, is he? So hopefully he can continue his good run of form.
Hopefully, but I'm sponsoring the away shirt of Montgomery, so I want value for my money.
Got a fair point there, Arvid.
Hopefully, if he's watching, hopefully he'll send you over one of those Monty goalkeeping snoods that he's got to keep the water in Norway. A snood.
Well, from the...
Yeah, it's like a neck. It's like a hanky.
Yeah, right.
Hanky, like it's like a scarf that's like just a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there we go. That fell flat on its arse. But anyway.
What's a snood in Norway?
It's a snoot is a buff.
A buff?
Yep.
Oh, right. Well, there we go. We'll get James Montgomery to change his brand into selling some buffs.
Arvid's buffs.
There's a new line of merchandise there. I'm telling you, that's going to sell. Yeah, but thank you very much.
For the Viking helmets with Heat Army on.
I know Heat Army. That's the way to do it. It is. Arvid, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you.
All right, fantastic.
Cheers. Thank you.
All the best for next year, mate.
See you later.
All the best. Happy New Year.
There we go. Arvid the Viking joining us. We've got a message from Kane Weirs. What's your thoughts on the academy as fans and what your expectations? 1 second. I'm going to cough at the minute. Pardon me. Well, we'll put that out to everybody. You've got to, like, it's like any academy setup. If you can get a player that comes through onto the fringes and gets the chance, like Ogbowie, like Tom White, like Mellish, you're not going to get a player every season. It doesn't happen like that at the top level. As long as, you can develop players and maybe they go on to play at other places, maybe in the Northern League, that's still good, developing them. But obviously you want to see some come through to the first team, and you never know, you might straight lucky and get a class of 92 and get 3 or 4 that'll come into the first team. But it's whatever happens. It's whatever talent comes through the door that you can sign up, isn't it? It's
to answer Kane's question from myself, I haven't actually seen them play. I've seen
I've
the
seen
highlights.
one. Yeah. I've done a FA Youth Cup game earlier this season, and they were quite impressive in that game.
All I want to, first of all, I want to see them enjoying the football and become better players.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll go on and progress into the first team, whether it be by a loan like some Mellish, White, Elliot Forbes have all done.
Definitely.
So I wish all the lads in the academy the very best. There's nothing we like to see more than likes John Mellish and Nelson Ogbewe or whoever.
Yeah, you just want to see.
We'd love to see us coming through.
We always have like lots of local lads, but if it's it's always special at any club if that club's developed that player and brought them through, and they feel like one of your own. So, fingers crossed. That's the ultimate goal, I suppose. You want someone to come to the team, but Mick Scully's put, I don't want to see any of you in the buff. So it's a bit of a shame.
Scully a lying git.
Yeah, and Scene Ones versus the Elite. There's a kind of few decent lads up and coming. Yeah, I think I can't remember the name of the other striker that was playing with Ogbewe. The two of them were, it'll come to us, but there was two players that were, I think they might be in White. I might be wrong. But yeah, he was really good. So those two of them both scoring goals. So yeah, hopefully there's a few prospects that can develop under Matty Patterson and Ben Clark. They know the stuff, so hopefully they can encourage these players to develop and go on the way they are. Right, now before we get Mark Carruthers on the phone, we're going to listen to what Mike Williamson's reaction was to the Spennymoor defeat.
Mike, obviously not the result you would have wanted today against Spennymoor. For you, how do you see the game and the performance overall after that?
Yeah, I've got to take responsibility for it. Ultimately, we weren't good enough. We can say that the sending off influenced the 90 minutes, but for me, it didn't change the fact that they were better than us. In terms of the physicality, their game plan, and I think, like I say, if you watch the game, and I need to watch it back and review and analyse it, but I feel as though in terms of between both boxes, we look pleasing on the eye going forward. We've got good players, we've got good technical players, but ultimately we weren't good enough. We were found wanting today, and that always comes back to me, and I've got a lot of work to do to make sure that we get it right.
You touch on the red card there. Obviously, it did leave you with an uphill battle, a goal down, and then with 10 men. But do you feel like that, going into halftime, especially as well, you were only still a goal down, that you would still kind of in with a shout of things at that point?
Yeah, like I said to the lads after, I felt as though we look pleasing on the eye, and we play good football, and we can move it really well. We can move through the thirds. And control possession, but ultimately our blueprint and our reaction to disappointment and in both boxes weren't good enough, and that's offensively and defensively. So like I say, I was on the pitch today, and so I've got to take responsibility for that, but ultimately the manager, for me, we weren't doing what we needed to be doing, and whether that's personnel or the coaching, that comes back to me. So yeah, I've got to take full responsibility and make sure that we have a reaction. And come our next game on the 2nd, it's a huge game, and we need to build that and continue for the back end of the season. And
in terms of the kind of mindset and I suppose confidence of the lads, obviously you always speak about them being a confident bunch at all times, but how much of importance is it that you don't let, I suppose, a poor result like this define the next few games in a sort of hangover sense, I suppose?
Yeah, no, like you hit the nail on the head there. It has to define us, but it's got to define us in a positive way. And that starts with me and goes all the way through the lads. Individually, we've got to look at ourselves and collectively, but it always comes back to me. And like I say, whether the lads, in terms of how effective we were today, we were found wanting, and that comes back to myself and Bust, and we've got to take responsibility because, like you say, these results will define us, because if we take it as in the manner that I believe we will, and we get back on the training ground and we gather, we regroup and we go again, then this can be a positive in the bigger picture of the season. But if not, if we take it and we allow it to knock our confidence, then we will be ultimately judged on the reaction like this.
Of course, another big game on Saturday against Blyth once again. Does that game take on any more importance to you, or is it still just 3 points that's there to be taken?
Ultimately, yeah, it's 3 points we've got to play for, but I think on the grand scale of things, it creates more importance. Not only is it another local derby, but we need a massive reaction off the back of today. And for me, it's just about buckling down and making sure that we have to work harder and we have to find a way, and we will.
There we go. For some reason, I don't know what happened there. Was everything all right for everybody else there?
I couldn't hear you.
Couldn't hear us. Oh, can you hear us now?
Going really badly.
Oh, nightmare. We had a little bit of trouble earlier on in the podcast with that, so hopefully we can resolve that. Hopefully it isn't echoing anymore.
Good evening.
So how's that, Mark? Is it really bad, Mark?
Still can't hear you.
Can't hear us at all. Oh, no.
Oh, there we go. That's better.
There we go. Can you hear us? That's all right now, is it?
Unfortunately, I can't hear you, Dave, yes.
Yeah, there we go. We're back in the game. Fantastic. No, like a technical difficulty to throw you off your game. Mark, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Just about warmed up from Monday at the stadium. It was a chilly afternoon, but hopefully Saturday will be a little bit better.
Yeah, hopefully. I say the game on Monday, it wasn't the greatest game. It was a difficult one to commentate on because there wasn't many positives coming from the Gateshead side throughout the game. We got the odd little flash, and that's all it was, a flash. Obviously, key moments when Spennymoor went ahead, but the red card was a big turning point in the game.
Well, I thought even up until the red card, Spenny were on top. I thought they were a better side, if I'm honest. Which surprised me. I did, as you said, you saw little flashes from Gateshead, and I think they started maybe the first 5 minutes on top, but then after that, it was all about Spennymoor. The red card, there can be no complaints whatsoever. I've watched it back a number of times. It was a poor challenge, but there's been an apology put out, and seems as if Jordan is he was very apologetic. Let's be honest, and these things happen. These things happen in football. It's a competitive game.
You mentioned the tweet. We've got it there, and it's gutted and angry at myself today. I let the lads down, and let the lads and everyone down. I am a committed player in every game, but it was a bad and mistimed tackle. I'll take whatever comes my way and learn from it, and make sure it doesn't happen again. And as you see, he's took it on the chin there. Come out, and I don't think we see enough players doing that. But doesn't help with the results, sadly, and of course we're going to be missing him for a game now on the back of that, and when we're short of strikers, and it's not great, is it?
No, but I think Jordan will go on to be a key player throughout the rest of the season. You've seen little flashes of what he can do. You've seen just how big a player he can be. He's played Football League. That's how big he is. He'll come in when he gets back in the side. I'm sure he will. He'll make a big impact because he's a talented lad. He's someone who's played Premier League football, and I think he'll be someone who Mike and Ian Watson will rely on heavily between now and the end of the season once his suspension's been served. But yes, it's not great. Obviously, the striking situation's been discussed probably more than any other position on the pitch throughout this season. It's going to be interesting to see what they do ahead of Saturday. You're looking at options up front. Is it going to be Jordan Preston again? It is a bit thin on the ground at the moment, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and obviously, obviously, I don't know if you were watching the show earlier on before you came on. There was people mentioning about, is Nelson Ogbury going to get a chance on the bench in coming games? It's certainly a shout if Gateshead are unable to bring in another striker on loan. Of course, with Jed Garner being recalled. From what we've seen on Monday, striker is definitely needed to lead that line.
Unquestionably, and I think it's got to be a certain type of striker. It can't just be anyone. You look at Jed, his hold-up play, I think, improved throughout his loan spell. The goals may not have come as regularly as he would have wanted after that hat-trick against Southport, but he was a sort of striker I think they'll need. Someone who's going to work hard, who can bring people into play. Is that at the club at the minute? I'm not so sure. But, fingers crossed they can do something. There's a lot of time to go between now and that game to work on the training pitch or look at other options. And I'm sure, knowing Mike and Busted as I do, they'll be as forensic as ever and they'll explore every option. We'll see what happens.
Saturday's game now is probably more important than probably we thought it might have been going into the festive period, of course. The draw against Blythe. I didn't see the game, but Mickey said that it was the equalising goal was it was fantastic. I've seen that in the highlights. But a game ultimately you would think, we talk about regardless of rivalries, you go to the bottom of the league side, you think you should be getting something from that game.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways to look at it, isn't it? That it is a derby game. They do say, using all the cliches, they do say that form goes out the window and all that. We saw that last year on New Year's Day. It was exactly the same then. And I just think that was something that happened on Boxing Day. I did watch the game via the stream. I wasn't working, but I did watch it. Unbelievable strike by McKeown. You could see as soon as he cut inside that right foot, you could see exactly where it was going as soon as it left his foot. That said, Gateshead had chances to win it, and I think we'll be aggrieved that they didn't come away with 3 points. Now the scenario, and I said this ahead of Monday's game, they've now got themselves going into Saturday where you're looking at the possibility of, had they got something Monday, Saturday's game would have been where they could have got, 5 points or even up to 7. Now it's a case of can you go and take 4 points from Christmas, which I'm sure nobody at the club would have accepted if that was offered beforehand. It is a big game. It's always a big game against Spartans with Gateshead. It's going to be one of those that I think Gateshead have got to put Monday behind them. It's a new game, it's a new day, and just focus on getting the 3 points, putting in a good performance, and kind of, as I say, moving on from Monday. That's the big thing.
We've got a few messages come in, and I'll quickly read them out. Michael Scully, he sent a message. Mark, is there anyone in the leagues below Gateshead that you think could do a job for us up front rather than rely on loan signings?
Well, there are, but the difficulty with that is you're then looking at bringing in part-time players, which isn't always easy. And I know one of the things Gateshead have found is that when you're trying to sign part-time players, they've not only got their part-time wage from the clubs, they've also got full-time wages from jobs. So that can be difficult to match. There are players in the National League North even who are on probably bigger money than what Gateshead are paying out because they are earning a lot from the football, but they're also earning a lot from the day jobs as well. So it can be difficult. There are unquestionably players lower that I think could do a job, but it's not always that easy just to say, let's go and get them from this club or let's go and get them from that club, because there's a lot of things to take into account. Yeah,
we've got a message as well from Thomas Sutton. He's put, is it now time to recall Blackett? He did it at Whitby and scored a few goals for Blythe. Shows he can do it at this level.
He's come back from injury.
Yeah,
just come back from injury. I don't even know if he played against Darlow.
Yeah, he did. He got game time against Darlington. That one, I'm not sure. He's been doing well up there, but he's been doing exactly what Mike and Busted wanted to do, getting game time and scoring goals. So that may be something we'll explore. And it's kind of it's an option. There's no doubt about it. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah, it's one of those things. And also, we've got a message from earlier on from Kane Wears. He's put, thanks for the response, lads. I'll pass it on to the rest of the staff and players at the Academy. Happy New Year. Well, thank you very much, Kane, for your message as well.
I should apologise to King because I said I'd have a chat with him on Monday, but I didn't get a chance, so I'll see him on Saturday.
Oh, well, we'll hold you to it. We'll hold you to it. But say, Mark, we covered the games on recently this season. We've seen a definite up and down season, but by any means, it's not a bad season at the moment. A couple of wins, and we're right back in the mix. And that's something we've got to remember. We're only maybe just that one player away from having a run, but as you say, it's that one player. Trying to find him. Up as Mark froze.
I think he has.
He has. He's froze. Either that or he's just ignoring us.
Have I? Hang on.
Seeing that meme thing is.
He's just. Are you still there? How's he got to go? I can hear you. It's not moving on our screen, but if you can talk, that would be great.
I think he's gone.
Oh, what a nightmare. Tell you what, I'll remove him from the stream and then add him back in, see if that works. There we go. We've got the picture's moved. Are you still there, Mark?
I am, but you're also echoing again.
Has he blacked up?
It's going really well.
I think it echoes one. Yeah, I know it is, isn't it? It's fantastic, professional. I think it echoes when we bring you back in. That's the problem till the software kicks in. That's what I'm presuming. But Mark, it's not a bad season. In the grand scheme of things, we're still within touch and distance. We get a win, we're right back in the mix. In a couple of wins, we can embed ourselves in the playoffs. Do you think it's not out of Gateshead's reach to find that player that isn't getting a game maybe at a higher league or somewhere around the National League North?
Look, the one thing Gateshead have got on other clubs is the fact that they are full-time in this division. So when you look at academies at a higher level or the 23s clubs at a higher level, they can send players to Gateshead and know that they're going to train day in, day out. They know they're going to get that full-time training and coaching. So that can be a bit of a difference maker. Whereas if you look at if a player was going to go from a 23 side to a semi-professional team, they would probably have to train with their parent club and then go to that club, the loan club, twice a week. It's a difficult scenario for some, but I think I think that's a possibility. It just depends on what's around. Gateshead got very lucky with, if you say, Luke Armstrong when he was at Bury, he came in and did very well at the start of the season before last. And you look at what Josh Coyote did, he was excellent when he came in. But I would argue with Josh, he improved as the loan spell went on. I thought when he first came in, he looked a bit raw. Then he adjusted the level, he adjusted the style of play, and he became a better player for it. And I think, we've seen the benefit of players that have come on loan at Gateshead throughout, 10 years now. They've all, a number of them, have gone on and had good careers at a high level. And we could go as far back as your Paul Dummets and people like that. They've gone on and done very well for themselves. So there will be an attractive option for under 23s players. There will be I guess that again will be an option they'll explore. It's just making sure you get the right one. You don't want someone who's going to come in and just not really improve on what they've got. You need someone who's going to come in and get goals and do the job that Mike and Busted want.
Yeah, and we've just had a message from Mick Scully. Forbes has been a big miss for us this season. He's started to develop into a good centre half, and his ball carrying and distribution is very good. Well, he came on and hopefully that's the start of him hopefully getting back to full match fitness, and we can see him start the challenge for a first team place. But I think on Monday even, at times our defence looked a little bit ragged at times. It didn't hold its shape as well as what you would think. I don't know if that's because it's been chopped and changed a lot, or it was just a case of the way Spennymoor were playing and getting in behind us. We didn't hold our shape, did we?
Well, look, you shouldn't forget that. One, you're coming up against one of the best strikers in the league, if not the best, in Glenn Taylor, who I thought was exceptional on Monday. For me, I wouldn't say man of the match, but certainly one of. And then you got Rob Ramshaw behind him with his movement. You had Mulherney who had a good, decent game, and his movement was good. So you're now looking at that back three, Gateshead, how many times, if we look last season, you would say Williamson, Forbes, who also missed, Williamson, Forbes, Jake Cooper. That was your back three for a large proportion of last season, and a big reason why the defensive record was so impressive last season. Now, Jake is back now, but how many times has that back three actually played together this year? It hasn't. So, I think, yes, Nathan Dale's coming in, done all right. He's had a good, a few appearances now and improved again as the season's gone on. But I think you just need to get back to getting that back three together again, and try and get the wing backs as another position that's been a little inconsistent. That's been chopped and changed as well. There's a big decision to make once everyone's fit, because do you restore Alex Nicholson to right wing back in place of Callum Griffiths? Do you keep playing Callum Griffiths and keep Nicholson at centre back? Well, let's be honest, he's been excellent. Probably
there's one thing we haven't actually mentioned so far, is that obviously his loan was only until January, so we haven't got long left with Jake Cooper at the moment, unless that loan can be extended. So obviously, if that is the case, then Elliot Forbes is coming back at the right time. Yeah,
exactly. I think Elliot is one of the big success stories of the last 18 months at the club. He's one of the key players, and I think he's been a bigger miss than maybe people thought he would be, which it's great to see him back fit. It'll be great to see him back in the side, which I'm sure he'll be very soon. But it does leave Mike with some big decisions to make.
It certainly does. It certainly does. And obviously, we're doing the commentary on Saturday for the game against Blythe. We're hoping it's going to be a bit more action-packed in the right way for Gateshead.
I hope it's a bit warmer, I'll tell you that.
I don't think it is going to be.
I don't know.
I was going to say, I wouldn't hold your breath if I was you, Mark.
No, I know. It's cold at the best of times.
I tell you what, let's just go back on the team. Yeah, it's get the strikers in, but we've got to cut out the silly mistakes. Unless, what's the point of getting strikers in and making silly mistakes? Because we're getting punished for them all the time now.
But I think that's symptomatic of not being able to put out a regular back three, and the situation that has been discussed as well as goalkeeping situation. So you've got Monty's come back, and he looked as if he was going to be the regular number one. He's got a bad injury. Harrison's come in. And I know there's a few things said about Harrison that he didn't deserve to be dropped, but I think that maybe Mike and Buster just want a more physical goalkeeper. Now it's unfortunate that the recall option's being taken. It's down to circumstances, so I dare say Harrison will be back in on Saturday again, and he's got to prove himself all over again, which I'm sure he will. He's a very confident young lad. So it's a big test for him. But I do think, going back to the original question, it is a case of that they just haven't had the consistency in the lineup throughout the season in terms of the defence.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. But as I say, a couple of wins and we're right back into the mix. So hopefully that can happen. But of course, this is the last home game until the end of January. So good few weeks. Gateshead's on the road, and I've got the actual... where is it? 1 second. Yeah, I've got the. We're going to be playing. Obviously, we're away to 1 second. That game's postponed. I'll raise it up. We're home to Blythe, obviously, on Saturday. Then it's away to Kettering, then away to York, away to Chorley, away to Darlington, and then we're home to Alfreton on the 30th of January. And well, that is a very, very tough set of games that we've got coming up. And you would hope that we can bounce back, starting on Saturday and get ourselves into some sort of groove.
Look, there's been a lot of things said over the last sort of 2 weeks, and one of the things I saw was, well, we've got no chance to making the playoffs now. Someone put that on Facebook, I think, and I just find that absolutely stunning. To come up with a comment like that when you look, the club are still very much in touch with the playoffs. They are, yes, there's a difficult fixture list ahead, but I can guarantee that other clubs around Gateshead will have equally difficult fixture lists. So there's a long way to go in this season. I don't believe we're not even anywhere near halfway through. Gateshead last season got stronger as the season went on, and I'm sure they'll do that this year. So I think it's just a case of saying, don't panic. Just let the lads do what they're doing. Let Mike and Busted and Chris Bell do what they're doing, because there's a process in place. That's the word you keep hearing. There's a process in place, and they will stay true to that. That's why they got a new contract last week, which we haven't discussed. That's why that was done, because the board believe in what they're doing. They're all working towards the same goal, and I'm sure things will improve after an underwhelming Christmas.
Let's certainly hope so. And Mark, thank you very much for joining us. I'll see you again on Saturday, and hopefully we can bring a little bit of festive joy to the Heat Army with our commentary and the result.
I just hope that tea ends there again, to be honest.
Yeah, I know that was quite good. I don't know if anyone heard it in the background. We didn't actually, weren't able to wear microphones because I forgot my extension. Luckily, there was an extension there. Unfortunately, there was a tea kettle as well. So there was a big urn chugging underneath our feet like a bomb ready to go off. So hopefully, if we do get third degree burns, we might be warm until the final whistle anyway. But
that's very true.
It is. Thank you very much, Mark.
And we'll load up the stand.
Yeah, one of the two. Thank you very much, Mark, and we'll see you soon.
Will do.
All the best, Mark.
Thanks, Mark. All the best. Have a good year.
Bye. And fantastic to speak to Mark there. And sorry about any technical difficulties. Someone said there was a bit of a lag when we played that video of Mike Williamson. Hopefully that was just a one-off. If anyone could tell us if there has been any technical difficulties, we're still learning with this. We're streaming in 2 places, obviously, at the moment, simultaneously on the Facebook page and on the YouTube channel. So we'll meet next time to see if we can maybe get rid of these lag problems. If there has been any, let us know, and we'll might just do it on Facebook or on YouTube where everyone can go to and watch it. So we might just do it that way. So just let us know, and we'll be able to hopefully rectify that. Well, we've got our next guest on the line. Hopefully, if Josh can hear us, if he gives it just a couple of seconds when he comes on, because we believe there's an echo when you first join us. So I'm going to bring him in now. So hello there, Josh. Are you all right?
Hello, lads. How you doing?
Spot on. There's no echo for you, is there?
No, nothing. No.
Spot. It's just Mark's cheap phone. That's what it was. Josh, obviously you do Tyneside TV. We've spoke to you a few times before, but this year you've been doing. Mickey's disappeared. You've been doing a lot more things this year, especially with the ladies team and regarding the first team with match reports and things like that. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's really good. Obviously, I've decreased the amount I do on Tyneside TV just to solely improve the quality of the other areas that I help with. Obviously, it's really good. A big learning curve for us, really. It's nice to get involved. Nice to obviously watch live football, have a bit of a release if you want. But it's really nice for us, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, people might not know that you're the matchday cameraman at the moment as well.
Well, yeah, I'm obviously both. My battery's getting drained by the stream, but so yeah, James is obviously coming back. I think in a few days, so I'll be taking a break for the Blythe game. I don't think I could handle it, to be honest. I think I'd be celebrating if we score and not recording. But yeah, I've filmed 3 games: the FA Trophy match, the Kidderminster match, and the Spennymoor match. Just a shame we can't really record a win, but hopefully James gets a win for us on Saturday.
It's not down to the cameraman. Don't worry about that. You're not a jinx. Obviously, you said you took a little bit of a back step with Tyneside TV. Do you plan to bring it back soon?
Well, obviously, I want to increase the quality of that stuff. Obviously, help out with the Soul, the ladies, and the foundation. I don't know if anyone saw as well. Obviously, I put out quite a bit of article last week for the foundation, rounding off what they've done during the last 12 months. So I don't know, really, just helping where I can with the club at the moment. Obviously, fans can't be there, so I'm just trying to bring quality forward and help fans feel a part of it, even though they can't be there in the flesh.
Well, that's what it's all about, though, isn't it? I mean, that's obviously why we do the podcast, because we want to try and keep people talking. Obviously, we do the podcast when fans are at the game, but at the minute, I think it's more of a chance for everyone to be able to have a chat and talk about it, and hopefully, still feel part of it. But you have been doing the ladies' football, recording the games, and your camera got hit, didn't it? The last game.
It was funny.
Well, not the first time. It won't be the last as well. it's what you expect, isn't it? You know, right on the sidelines, you know, you have to always expect it to happen at one point. I know the first game that I recorded, the Sunderland match, new tripod within the first 5 seconds it clattered. So it's what you have to deal with at the end of the day, isn't it?
It is. It's as I said. Well, look at this stream. We've had a little bit of trouble earlier on, so it's with echoes. So it's a nightmare. But nothing ever works the way you want it to. But as long as you can get it to get to the end of whatever you're doing, I suppose it's the best thing. But obviously, ladies football's new to all of us. How are you finding covering it as well?
Yeah, so media-wise, I'm part of a team of 3, I'd call it. Myself, James, obviously comes along when he can and help records, and David Telford as well, a photographer who's doing an excellent job. We'll also have the help of Charles Woff once, you know, when he can come along. So that's really great. It's new to us. Looking at a lot of ladies' accounts, apart from, say, the top 2 or 3 tiers, the social medias aren't, you know, that advanced, aren't that we try and bring creative element to ours. We try and be different, and it's, you know, a big learning curve for me. I'm trying to improve every day, and yeah, it's just about trying to also, you know, show our fans what, you know, ladies football is like, and another great era of the club, really.
Yeah, it's a fantastic string to the bow of the club, isn't it? That they've got this, and that the club and obviously yourself are giving it the big push, because, as you mentioned, there's a lot of clubs around, even, you know, like Northern League level, don't have the coverage of what you're putting out for the ladies team.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Obviously, it helps that we're doing a good job on the pitch as well. That makes my content a lot easier. You know, so yeah, it's just all around, really. It's a team effort from everyone, and from the manager to the players to ourselves. It's team effort on the ladies' side, and we're doing the best to showcase it to everyone in the Gateside FC community.
Yeah, definitely. And
to be honest, can I come in there, Dave?
yeah, of
To be
course.
honest, it's a great togetherness with the ladies, and Josh will tell you, and it's, when you're around them, they're so threatening. A great bunch of lasses. Mickey's a great lad, and anybody who's there, they just seem to bring them into it as well. And it's a really, really nice experience going watching the lasses.
Yeah, of course.
First season for me.
Yeah, well, obviously David was at the well, both of us were at the Berkeley match, and he came to the Bishop match as well, didn't he? Whereas Mickey's came to quite a few matches himself by himself. You know, you speak to some of the players and they're all really jumpy, they're all really you know, friendly. And for example, when we went in lockdown in November and we're going back in now, they keep that togetherness, and you know, it is very nice to see. It's very fresh, refreshing, really. I'm not saying obviously the men's do that as well, but for ladies, it's just even more people. Really, isn't even more you know, straight in the bow, as you say, really.
Yeah. And of course, you know, we've got a message here of Sam Pennants, but hopefully the ladies can continue their win run, a great start of the season. And, you know, that makes it even that little bit more special, that you know, Michael Gray has been able to put a good side together that are challenging for the league. And, you know, if they can achieve that in the first season, you know, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's history.
Yeah, of course, that's what we want. Michael's obviously got experience in the league, haven't been here for 2 seasons before. One thing I'm excited about, though, is the cup. Obviously, we faced Lumley last week, 2 weeks ago, sorry, beaten 7-0. Now that's the cup that has teams in our league, teams in the league above, but also teams in the league above that, you know, but some teams in the league above that. So it's a good chance to prove ourselves against teams higher up, and a good chance really to show what we're about.
Yeah, definitely.
It shows you how good. Sorry, Dave.
No.
Shows you how good we are playing. Because Southmore House bottom of our league beat East Durham 5-0, didn't they, on the opposite pitch, and they are bottom of our league. So it shows how good we're playing.
I mean, obviously we faced Prudhoe in pre-season. They're 2 leagues above us. We beat them 7-0. So yeah.
I mean, they just got their sight together, to be fair. Like, but did play really, really well against them.
Yeah, it's to say it's been a joy to watch, and also as well. You mentioned social media, but obviously all the ladies are very interactive online as well, and they're having the time of their lives and enjoying the football, and you can't ask for much more, can you?
That's the main thing if they're enjoying it. To be honest, obviously, the social media aspect of it, going into the club like Gateshead and having a proper fan base. Something that I wouldn't expect. Obviously, most of them have just came from Gateshead College, so it's something that it's new to them. And if we can keep it long lasting, if we can keep it something new but something friendly, etc., it's great, really.
Certainly is, and obviously you asked me some questions for the program that is available to be downloaded as well. Has there been a good reaction to that this season? Because obviously people like to get the programs, but they're not being able to get to the games. Have you had any feedback from the program that's been downloaded?
Well, yeah, obviously, Jack does most of that, who does an excellent job with everything, the stream, the program, just general social media output. Obviously, I help out when I can. I do pages in the program. I've spoke to volunteers so far this season. I've had a look at the opposition, etc. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. Hopefully, support us all. I don't know if you want to give feedback now or not. It's
fantastic. We've got a question from Sam, and Sam's put, are the ladies able to play in Tier 4 or not?
Unfortunately not.
So that's another break in their season. Yeah, it's not great. Hopefully they can continue where they left off when they do come back. But yeah.
Just the times we've got, unfortunate.
Yeah, and say, Josh, before we let you go, what's been your favourite game so far this season?
I've obviously you're on the really covered home games. I'd have to say, hopefully it'll be Saturday. To be honest, let's be honest, that's the first game of the season, Blythe, isn't it? But so far, I would have to say the Southport game, really. Maybe the Curzon game, because obviously we weren't having the best run of form going on that one. Then we beat them 1-0. So that was nice just to get that 3 points, and that was obviously the start of a good little home run for us. Yeah. But I think the Southport game was the most clinical we've been all season, obviously, with Jed getting a hat-trick.
It felt like we turned a corner in that game, didn't it? But hopefully we can get back to that soon. But
a cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Hopefully it will be against Blythe, and Josh, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure, and keep up the good work.
No worries. Cheers.
That's been fantastic.
Cheers. Thank you.
Andy Charlatton's haircut.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, we are going to open up the phone lines if anyone wants to join us. We can take a phone call, and this is the number. So if you do want to call us, we'll stay on for a couple more minutes if you do want to join the show. We have got a couple of messages that are missed, and we've been talking to people. David Tron has put, in the Blythe game, Gateshead could have been 3 or 4 up in the first half time. We keep letting teams back in the game. Stay safe. Look forward to return to the Gateshead National Stadium from John Laverick. I think I did miss one higher up. Thomas Boyle has put in the friendlies. There was a Tridus striker. I think he was from down Cornwall way.
Oh yes, the lad from Truro, wasn't he?
Yeah. I can't remember his name, but he went back there. And we had one from Charles Waff as well. But I took more pictures in the first half because we were attacking Blythe than I did in the whole of the Spennymoor game. So that tells you something about that. But yeah, you can call us on 077 494 55002. So if you do want to speak to us, you're more than welcome. Oh, well, Mickey, he's going straight off to the toilet, I think. But while we wait for Mickey and maybe a phone call, we're going to play this little advert for our sponsors. Yes, that is our sponsors, Northern Print Solutions. And, well, Mickey has something in his hand.
Yeah, I've got the James Curtis pin badge, if I can hold it there. So
there it is.
We're going to think of a question, and for the next podcast, we're going to have a ring-up competition for you to win it. We can still get them; they're still available.
We spoke to Scott on the last podcast as well.
Pins, badges, big cartel. So we're going to have a competition for you to win one of them, and then I'll post it out to you. So I'm going to think of a competition for next week.
Good. Well, if anyone does want to ring us, the number is on the screen. We'll stay on for a few minutes and give you the chance if you do want to join us. John Laverick has just sent an empty message. So, thank you for that. But no, Saturday, massive game. We need to get back on track, get the morale up. And obviously, I believe Hunter will be unavailable for that because he's seen red in the corresponding fixture. And of course, I would imagine Cook might be unavailable with that straight red as well. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what formation lineup, what team is available. We heard earlier on people asking the question: Would we have Ogbury on the bench if we were manager? I think probably I'd give it a go.
Option.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, you can Mail, Nicholson, Forbes, Williamson, Cooper if he's available. George Smith. There's me back five, and then Ollie. We've got Knee Hunter. So you're looking Ollie Devedix and
Greenfield.
Greenfield. And then you've got for me, Macaulay Langstaff and Jordan Preston up front.
Yeah,
I think that's about as much as we can play.
It's as I say, it's a quandary. You don't know which what will happen. There might even be a change in formation. Who knows? But yeah, it's a big thank you to everyone that's messaged in the show tonight. We've really enjoyed it. We haven't had any messages to tell us that there was any faults. So hopefully there wasn't too much of a lag for anybody when we played out the Mike Williamson. I had a bit of trouble at my end, and that's why I was probably a little bit confused and puzzled when we come back on. Sorry?
Have you seen a doctor?
No. Well, I have many years ago. They said they can't give. So
spoken like a true man.
Oh, pressed it again by mistake. We didn't get to use them as much as I would have liked to have. I was going to give it the old. Didn't have the opportunity. What's the other one I've got? Oh, crickets. Yeah, for any joke, I'll tell. John Laverick, we have got his message now. He's put 2 up top is a must. So
I think so, John.
It is. It's
definitely. I mean, what I've seen in Macaulay Langstaff, I've liked this season. I've got to be honest. I like Jordan Cook as well, and Jordan Preston. I thought he was unlucky to be taken off against Blythe. I thought he was doing having a canny game, and so. Well, I'm not the manager. I mean, I'm fully behind Mike and Busted. I think they'll turn it around.
Yeah.
Totally.
Definitely. Well, it looks like we're not going to have any calls. So if you do, this is your last chance if you want to join us before we go off air. But yeah, as a whole, a little bit. I would have hoped to have had maybe 4 points at this stage in the festive games. I would have took a draw against Spennymoor and a win against Blythe. Not to be. But hopefully we can get 4 points in total though with the game on Saturday. That's the main objective, and it has to be a convincing one as well. I think to try and everyone's entitled to the opinion, but to maybe quiet some of the names.
I can't stand them, but let them write them off.
Oh no! They are they're going to be up for it. Definitely be up for it. It's. To get one up with us would be a big thing for them, and they more or less did that on Boxing Day.
I mean, the gaffer took the flak on Monday. Ultimately, I take the responsibility, but the rest of the players have got to step up and take that responsibility too, Dave. So
yeah, it's a team game. It is. I just hope that I'm sure they all know the importance of it. If it had been in normal times, that Tynewhere stand would have been full, and it would have been a roar every time we went forward. Just got the players that have played in them games need to reiterate that to the teammates that this is a big game, and we need to put this to bed, get ourselves back on track, and the team bottom of the league visiting you at home, you should be coming away with something, and that's not having a go at them. That's just the way it needs to be. But we've got another message here, one from David Tron. He's put, we have some very tough fixtures in January also. I mean, we certainly do. We have got to go back with Crawley, Darlington, York, Kettering. There is some massive games in this league that's coming up, and we're going to have to be, play our game and stay strong and concentrate. Play the simples.
Massive.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Well, it looks like nobody is brave enough to ring us up and have a little chat with us. So we're going to end it there. But Mickey, I say happy birthday again, and hopefully, say when we're on next week, we're talking about a fantastic win against the old rivals.
Hopefully, they'll give us a nice birthday present on Saturday.
I certainly will. Well, thank you to everyone that's messaged in. It's been a pleasure. Thank you to Arvid for joining us, Mark Carruthers, and Josh as well. It's been a decent little show. Just a pity we didn't have any better results to talk about. But
I'd rather we're where we were than having the previous regime here any time of the day.
Indeed. Well, as I say, thank you to the people that stayed with us to the end watching. We really appreciate it. Remember, please do like the Feed On Me podcast page and subscribe to the YouTube channel. It really does help spread the word. That's what it's all about. We just want to reach as many people as possible and share this podcast with people so they can get to see it and find out about it. And we'll leave this with John Laverick saying all the best, Mickey.
Cheers, John. Much appreciated. All the best to all the listeners.
Yeah, well,
2020.
It's got to get
quick enough. In 2021, let's hope we have a much better year. So, happy New Year to you and your family, Dave, and everybody who's listening.
Yeah, same to you. And we'll see you all next week. Bye.